What if I told you that Mikayla Nogueira built her brand of tens of millions of followers on a total lie? This is the original. On the left, Mikayla made herself look smaller at the expense of making Selena look larger. Now, it's one thing to lie about looks, but when you lie on a black woman's business costing them revenue, now we gotta pepper your clock.
You heard in my business, you are the liar and not me.
It's a foreign man in a foreign land.
Alright, Mikayla Nogueira may very well be the James Summerton of makeup influencers. Oh God. This girl got tens of millions of followers, and on the surface, she seems like a bootleg Tati Westbrook with scandals to boot. But a closer look at her reveals that she lies a lot. But first, I want to get on some of the things that I have a problem with as far as just like the criticisms.
The Mikayla Nogueira accent controversy is continuing. Yes, for those of you who don't know, Mikayla is a beauty creator, TikToker, YouTuber, you name it. And she's got this accent. It's like a Boston, New England accent.
Back to what I was saying, I was stuck at my parents' house, completely hopeless and unsure of what to do.
I grew up in New England. That is not it.
But some people are claiming she's faking that accent because in a video posted on the 23rd of February, someone posted this clip from apparently from her college days, and in the clip she has no accent.
On campus. I actually work here at the information center, so I'm sure you'll be seeing me around.
I empathize with this. As someone with a heavy Caribbean accent, and there has been whole campaigns dedicated to debunking my accent. Oh God. Claiming that my accent is fake. I kid you not, this is a real thing. When people claim that like my accent is fake, it just exposes themselves. It's basically you're saying that you've never encountered a Bahamian accent before, and therefore it must not exist. She is American-centric. It's wild that folks are saying that she's faking it because of clips where she is obviously code switching. Black people understand this because that's the same argument they made with me. Like they look and they're just like, oh, see, here's a video from him from college and he doesn't have the accent. No, I talking to white people. Oh God. They really did expect me to come up in the shit like boom, buckler. Black people have to code switch because it's a survival mechanism. If we don't code switch, y'all gonna say we ghetto, we won't get the job, or at worst, some white people could call the police. Ryan Coogler. You see how like niggas be fetishizing the accent? He's so articulate despite him talking in this urban accent. He is, to an extent, having to perform this type of blackness. He packages an experience that makes you, the viewer, want to be black. Like you eavesdropping in on a conversation with niggas. Long story short, the fake accent accusations from Mikayla is a big nothing burger to me. I won't get to the more lukewarm lies. The discrepancy in her pictures. Mikayla has been exposed for like extensively manipulating her pictures and her videos. I want to hold space for the fact that women, especially on social media, is a very violent place for them. The beauty standards are oppressive and society erases women that don't hit that standard at best. And at worst, they lambaste women that don't fit that beauty standards online. In a way that in real life, they don't do that because you got to see people in real life. When you're dealing with anonymous trolls with anime profile pictures. So I empathize with folks that feel compelled to align themselves with these standards in order to feel protected or even like human. Some of these phones and things like that have built-in filters that you can't even take out. Like my Mac, I couldn't even turn off the filter, so I was looking like a glazed ham. I'm just like, damn, my skin ain't that smooth. I look like I all Vaseline up. I look like I've been at a Diddy party. Phones trying to get you to buy them, right? If you testing out the iPhone and you testing out the Android, you turn on the front-facing camera. The iPhone, you look like an IG model. Which phone are you gonna get? There's a basic level of filtering in a lot of these phones. How much of what you see online ends up creating a transhumanist yearning inside you? At what point does all of the cosmetic surgery, all of the different interventions that you take end up being essentially you trying to be your avatar self on IG? That's some trans shit. This is be transphobic, but then like make it avatars of themselves and wanting to be avatars of themselves. That's oh God. Y'all doing all of these different gender affirming cares. You editing your picture as gender affirming care. They be coming for Mikayla in ways that are very fatphobic. Like I seen like someone say that this guy look like a seagull. I'm just like, raw. Y'all making this woman's argument for her because Basically, y'all are being vehemently cruel to her online, which is the reason why she has to do this in the first place. So I hold space for a society that makes you feel like you need to do this. Foreign, the empathy is commendable, but what is this? It does suck that Mikayla often filters herself at the expense of other people. This is Selena Gomez. When you're ready, nah. And Mikayla. Selena is looking a little wider than she would normally look. That is because this is the original. On the left, Mikayla made herself look smaller at the expense of making Selena look larger. If y'all know Selena's like history, especially like her battling with lupus, like that's a really big sore spot for her. You could see right down here how warped that is. All so that you could look a little bit smaller inside like one of your pictures. And this dynamic only gets worse when you take into account that Mikayla vehemently denies any editing.
Social has an impact, and there have been such studies done recently on the impact of social media on editing tools on these platforms.
Yep.
I want to talk about how you navigate the use of filters and editing your content and things like that, because you show up so authentic and transparent to your audience. How have you navigated those filters and edits on social media?
When I was going for my master's degree, it was in communication theory, and I actually studied the effects of social media on women. And I found a lot of really upsetting things.
So you're taking us to class right now, is what you're telling me. Give it to us, girl.
I think what people don't maybe know about me is that I went to school for this. It's something I really do care about, and it's something that really affects me, and I want to be open about it and talk about it.
Given that you know the ramifications of doing that, you're not going to do that to people, right?
Because I see how it affects everyone. But in my videos, I don't use filters, right? If I have acne, I show it. If I have darkness under my eyes because I didn't sleep the night before, I show it.
This reminds me like a Clara Dow. Clara Dow lied about being naturally skinny to her audience of mostly impressionable girls. All the while, she was basically peddling an eating disorder to them. Mikayla vehemently denies using filters and editing. It adds to this experience of seeing perfect bodies, pore-free faces, and then you wondering to yourself, what's wrong with me? Because everybody else look perfect except for me. The argument could be made that like it's always been like that because of the fact that magazines also showcased airbrushed reality. However, at least that was limited to these people that we thought that's their job to look good. Now everybody look friggin' amazing. Just like Jasmine Tan was peddling lies to her audience in the forms of brand deals, Mikayla be doing the same thing. It's one thing to be purporting an image of perfection to your audience of impressionable young girls. That's one thing. But for you to show that the way that I get perfect is by using this product, that's another thing. Bringing us to Lashgate. So you all have to help me with this, right? Because I don't know much about lashes.
In the curved side, and I'm going root to tip.
Okay, I ain't gonna lie. Root to tip is... Root to tip? That sounds like a Ransford James song.
I'm taking the curved side, and I'm going root to tip, and I'm starting to coat the lashes. And then once you've done that, you flip the brush to the side and you use the hook comb to basically separate.
This isn't me doing it. Oh God. I'm very deep in people that wear makeup business right now. Band is visible. Okay, the band. Okay, so when we talking about the band, what we talking about? The band is where the lashes are attached to. Okay, those don't look like falsies at all. Okay, all right. Mikayla be lying, but Lashgate was egregious because we were all buying lashes back then. She came through with a mascara that negated the need for them only to bait and switch. Ah, you see, I didn't know all that. Okay. Okay.
This is one coat. Okay, I'm going to add a second. Look at the length. Do you see?
So those are different? Those are... Okay, I could see that. Is that a cluster? I've heard about clusters. I understand apparently that clusters versus individuals, there's like politics in between that. So like, you know, she'd be going for like the individuals because the clusters is be too thick. So is this a cluster? Thank you for talking me through this. I need that. I really need that right now because I'm kind of out of my depth. They're clusters? Okay, yeah, I did well. Big up for it. So the sides are okay. So you could tell more from the sides. I like how Shorty had to like circle it.
That I am speechless.
Okay. Okay. So that's not false. Those aren't false. Right? That's what that mean? Oh, because they're individual. Those are tarantulas.
And I'm not sure.
This gal doing whole screenshots and breaking it down like this. Okay, but that's so obvious because you could tell because the bottom is just so different. I could tell that. Granted, she's zooming in. I couldn't tell that if you just walk up to me. I wouldn't be able to see that. Okay, so these are different? These are different then. Meanwhile, the gal is denying in the comments vehemently that those are false. She replied to people essentially saying that those were not falsies. Macy says, wait, are you not wearing falsies at the end? Mikayla then says, no. Oh my God, L'Oreal. So this is a L'Oreal brand partnership. She says, no, oh my God, L'Oreal would never allow that in a partnered post. But you're proving my point. So she trying to say that's not real. Oh yeah, you have clusters on your lash. So I got it right. Hey, big foreign. You have clusters on your lashes. Why are you lying right now, bro? That low-key just blew me. I am fatally cis, terminally het. And I could tell that that's a gloss. This ain't no one-off either, by the way. She be doing this quite a bit.
This is the new Essence Call Me
Black
Queen
Essence mascara.
Curl the lashes. It has this really flexible wand. In fact, okay,
that Maybelline
before
Firework
and after,
mascara.
it's pretty freaking good.
You could see that the wand color changed. Apparently, like this one is black and this one is not black.
Okay,
that Maybelline
before
Firework
and after,
mascara.
it's pretty freaking good. That's 2 coats. I'm gonna let that dry and then I'll add a third. I like how the wand is smaller because I can really get into each individual hair. Okay, third coat just to see.
Now back to the
Such
Essence mascara.
a beautiful mess.
Part of me is like wondering like if she's rage baiting to the extent like where she wants to be called out because there's more engagement. Faking your pictures, faking your videos, potentially accentuating your accent, and also like blatant false advertisement things. There are tens of millions of people consuming this woman's content. So her advocating for a product can make or break that product. That brings us to probably the main problem that I've had with her. She also lies about Black-owned beauty businesses. Okay, so as you can see, this is actually from the business themselves. They're demonstrating that the makeup stays on or something like that. It's pigmented and opaque. It's full coverage. Oh, I get it.
I bought that immediately. Hey, don't quote me on this. Apparently she uses Vaseline when she does those long swatches to make it do that. I'm excited to try this. Here's the palette. Very pretty colors. The famous shade right here. If I, swatch the famous shade right here, just regular, wow, that's beautiful. But it won't go like the way it does with hers because it doesn't have the Vaseline.
Which is a lie.
You heard in my business.
Big up Yolando Salmon. We remember like how Target was taking all kind of black businesses off the shelves as soon as the DEI gate fell down. Black women are already disadvantaged when it comes into getting into the beauty market, despite being probably the biggest consumer of the beauty industry in particular. And then you have someone with tens of millions of followers essentially saying that she uses Vaseline to go and get the effect that she's showcasing on her videos. Cause look, it doesn't actually happen when I do it.
And this is what I keep on have to be doing. So people can see that you are the liar and not me.
So I'm assuming that like that's like alcohol to make it drier.
I didn't use Vaseline.
She did a money spread out of her own product.
It was that easy to swatch.
It would be amazing like if people actually buy her more now. She didn't even need to do that, but she just lied so much that like she just ended up doing that for no reason. And it just goes to show like how dangerous this can be, because that can make or break a business. She had to come out and then again advocate for herself in a way that she shouldn't have had to. Black folks in particular, especially like black women, when they're inside these different industries, they're always seen as not the authority on the own thing that they do. I mean, like essentially like you have people that would do this and then irrevocably harm a business, because some people wouldn't even care to watch the correction. Not everybody's gonna see Yolando's video because she doesn't have the same reach as a 16 million subscribed TikTok account. I mentioned earlier that Mikayla is but an instrument in an ensemble of creators that monetize their impressionable audience with false advertisements and preying upon their insecurities. Much like Jasmine Tan and Clara Dow, they have an ostensibly young audience that is already plagued by the harsh realities of doctored images and AI avatars, which is something that hosts a litany of other issues that I go into depth about in my video, This AI Made Me White. I know it's a wild title, but an even wilder video, featuring folks like Jordan Harrod and Brianna Mater. It not only discusses the tangible dangers of AI, but also the ramifications it had on the black creative industry. It's one of my favorite videos that was absolutely gutted by the censorship systems on platforms that require us to abide by these ad suitability standards. A lot of these issues raised by those systems aren't even offensive in the first place, but simply because it's an automated system that doesn't always understand cultural nuances, everyone had to suffer. Except those who watched it exclusively on my streaming service, Nebula. You can get my videos ad-free, early, and extended on Nebula, as well as exclusive videos from thoughtful creators like T1J and Cat Black. Because Nebula is home to our prestigious pieces you won't find anywhere else, like Lindsay Ellis's Nebula original Trash Disney Attraction Rebrands, where she does a deep dive on how Disney bastardized these theme parks, which was really interesting for me because I just came back from the LA Disney theme park and I was standing in the hot blazing sun for almost an hour. They ain't pass on no waters or nothing like that. Thankfully, Lindsay was able to speak to my frustration and dehydration in ways only she could, and you could only get that on Nebula, because Nebula is filled with exclusive shows just like these that won't work on other platforms. And you could gain access to Nebula for as low as $6 a month or $60 per year. But with my code nebula.tv/4onFridays, you get a 40% discount, thus bringing it down to $36 a year. You could also get Nebula for life for $300, which goes directly to creators making bigger and better projects that you would have a hand in directly supporting. You could also give the gift that keeps on giving with Nebula gift cards. But most of all, you get to support us making the works you love and elevating it into prestigious pieces of art. So if you want to support the future filmmakers, documentarians, and storytellers of society, then sign up for Nebula using my code nebula.tv/4onFridays.